Welcome everyone to our worship led on behalf of Sleaford Methodist Circuit. My name's Paul Coburn. We're going to begin with a prayer. Let us pray. Lord, as we worship today, give us vision, move us by your Spirit, bring good news to us all, freedom to broken people, and heaven here on earth. Open our eyes to see you as you really are, and open our hearts to praise you. Give us a vision that will carry us through our disappointments and our failures, our anxious and unhappy times, and the monotony of boring routines. Give us a vision that will lift our lives and lead us to new ways of service. Help us to dare to dream of love in a world that speaks of hate. Help us to dare to dream of hope in a world that speaks of despair. Help us to dare to dream of peace in a world that speaks of war. In our worship today, Lord, give us vision through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. And let's join together in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Our reading today is from John's Gospel, chapter 17, verses 20 to 26. This is the last part of a prayer made by Jesus, not just for the disciples that are present at the time. This is all happening at the Last Supper, the night before Jesus died. But Jesus is also looking ahead to the future and praying for us, his followers. John 17, verse 20, and it's Jesus speaking. Them he's referring to are those disciples who are gathered with him at the time. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. I in them, and you in me. May they be brought to complete unity, to let the world know that you sent me and have loved them, even as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am, and to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them and will continue to make you known, in order that the love you have for me may be in them, and that I myself may be in them. Thanks be to God for his word. Jesus prays for many things for his disciples and for those who would follow afterwards, and that, of course, includes us, even though we come almost 2,000 years later, we're still included in that prayer of Jesus long ago. And he asks many things for his followers, but I just want to pick one thing to focus on for a few minutes today, and that is that he prays for unity. He prays that they may be one. The unity of his followers, Christian unity. But there's all kinds of things that we could say about that. The thing that has me intrigued is the comparison that Jesus gives about the kind of unity that he's talking about. And he uses one word quite a lot in this passage. It's a simple word. It's a short word in Greek, as it is in English. The word in. For example, and here's the bit that I want to focus on. That they may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. That's not the only place, that's just an example. What do we mean by something being in something else? Well, there is the very literal meaning of the word in. Let me just, as a brief diversion, go back to my youth in Sheffield. There used to be circulating in the church in Sheffield from time to time a list of, I'm not sure if they were Sheffield sayings or Yorkshire sayings, about a dozen or more sayings which, if you pronounced them in the right way, they made sense. Here's an example. This was my favourite. It's on the screen now. And this is pronounced, I shall clout thee if thou don't gior. If you want that in slightly better pronunciation, I shall clout thee if thou doesn't give over. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, a more accurate way of putting it would be, I will hit you if you don't stop it. Showing the severe nature of the Sheffield folk, who were very violent towards their children, obviously. But I shall clout thee if thou don't gior was my favourite amongst this collection. But there's one that was a bit of a puzzle, really. How do you pronounce this? And here it is on the screen. How would you explain this? It doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Well, I have a prop here. A tin. Where's the cake? Well, it isn't in the tin. Or, as you would say in Yorkshire, tin, tin, tin. Let's move to the meaning of the word in as described by Jesus. I don't think he's using it in a very literal sense. Something being in something else implies that if A is in B, B is somehow bigger and contains A. It doesn't even have to be a physical object. I could say, for example, we are going on a Mediterranean cruise in August. We're not, but I could say we are. And in that sense, we're not talking about a physical thing. The cruise is an activity taking a couple of weeks maybe, and those couple of weeks will be contained within the month of August, a time scale, not a physical object. Something that is in August means it will take place in a shorter time within the bigger framework of the month of August. A being in B implies that A is somehow smaller and contained within the larger B. And that's all very well until you come to a statement like A is in B and B is in A. How does that work? which of the two is contained in the other. It may be that the two senses are slightly different. For example, if I were to go swimming off the beach and swallow some water, I could say that I am in the sea and the sea is in me. And there, I suppose, I'm using the word sea in two slightly different ways. In one sense, I'm talking about the whole ocean, and I am in that. And then a part of that ocean, something that's got the essence of that, is inside me because I've swallowed it. And I suppose when it comes to our relationship with Jesus, there's something of that going on here. We are in him and he is in us. He is definitely the one greater than us, and we live out our lives in him, but he is also part of us. He's in our hearts, he's in our lives. So it is quite possible for A to be in B and B to be in A, when we're not talking in purely physical terms like a cake being inside a tin or not inside a tin. But the unity that Jesus is speaking of is very deliberately compared with the inness between Jesus and God the Father. Let me remind you again, he's praying for them that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. And I think there's a symmetry about God the Son and God the Father, one being in the other being in the one, that is a symbol of unity. It's what unity is all about. Another slight diversion, but bear with me because I hope this tries to get the message clearer. Marriage. In marriage, there are certain promises made, one of which is that all I have is yours. All that I have, I give to you. Putting it simply, everything that's mine is yours. But the key thing is, that's not just one person who makes that promise. It's both. So, when you take, for example, a £10 note, who does this belong to? Well, my wife would argue, and has indeed argued on more than one occasion, what's yours is mine. If this is my £10 note, then it's her £10 note. But I could then say, well, you also said what's yours is mine. So if it's your £10 note, then it's my £10 note. And then she could argue, yes, but if it's your £10 note, it's mine. Well, if it's yours, it's mine, and so on. Who does this belong to? Does this belong to me, or does it belong to my wife? And the question only really arises if we are not united. If there is unity, then it doesn't matter. This belongs to us both, and we are united. It only becomes an issue, really, when we're trying to decide how it should be spent. And if one of us, for example, wants to spend it on lipstick and the other wants to spend it on beer, then it becomes a dispute. Well, does it belong to, and who gets the authority to spend it? And I should just point out that, bearing in mind that I don't drink beer, but that I have been known to appear as a pantomime dame, the example I gave might be the other way round to the way you were originally thinking. Unity is about that symmetry. All I have is yours, all you have is mine. I in you, you in me. That there is an equality there. And that's what brings unity. Jesus and the Father are united. In that sense, they are one. And that's the sense in which Jesus is praying for his followers to be one. in that symmetrical way. It's not that I am a minister and I serve you, the congregation. You also minister to me. We minister to one another. I love you, you love me. It is a mutual thing, and there is symmetry about it. It's not that one person is greater within the church than any other person. It's not that there is a greater whole of one person or one faction and others are just part of that. No, I'm in you, you in me. It's a symmetrical relationship, and it happens when we become one. And that doesn't mean that we're all exactly the same. In marriage, the two are one, but they are different people. And I'm not just thinking here in terms of gender, husband and wife, but even in a same-sex marriage, two personalities, very different. Two skill sets, two upbringings can be very different. Two different people. I suppose a good example might be a football team, where the different players have different roles. Some are in goal, others are trying to score goals, and each have a different skill set, attacking, defending, slightly different skills. But they are one because there is, in theory at least, no one more important than the other. It is the team that wins. I've always thought it was a little bit unfair, the way that it's always the person who last touched the ball that is awarded the privilege of having scored the goal, because it may well be that someone else has done all the work and all they've done is just tap the ball in at the end. But that's okay, because the team acts as a team. It's not about your personal glory. It's about being one with the others, playing your part, playing your role. That's the kind of unity that Jesus is praying for his people. And admittedly, he needs to pray for that kind of unity, because we don't always get it right. We're not fully united, but it's something we should be aspiring to. Seeing one another as equally loved by God, equally valued by God, equally important. Different skills, different people, different personalities, but no one better than any other. There is this symmetry about our relationship, or there should be, as Christians. We should be willing both to love and to be loved, both to serve and help others and to allow them to serve and help us as needed. Sometimes we don't need much help and we can be the ones giving it. Sometimes we need a lot of help and prayer and we can be the ones on the receiving end. But it's an equality thing. It's a symmetry thing. It's not about any one person being superior to any other person. Jesus prays that we should be one. And that's the aspiration for you. It's the aspiration for me. We should never look down on our fellow Christians. We should never treat them as inferior and think, well, I've got it right. They need to be more like me. No. If we are truly to be one as Jesus prayed we should be one, then it means we love one another. Something else that Jesus told us to do. Love one another as I have loved you, he said. And we need the backing of his prayers, because we're not always great at doing that. But let's work towards it. Let's work towards being one as Christ and the Father are one. Let's sing. Thou God of truth and love, we seek thy perfect way. Let us pray. Lord Jesus, we pray for the unity of the church. We pray in the terms that you also prayed, that we may be one, as you and the Father are one. May we learn to love one another, to love and be loved, to serve and be served, to think not of ourselves, but of the others around us, and how together we can be your people, supporting one another, caring for one another. And beyond the confines of the church, Lord, help us to show that same unity in the way we love the world. We pray for this world, a world of many troubles and many needs. We pray for peace. We pray for healing. We pray for comfort for those who are sad and hope for those who are concerned about the future. Lord God, come to our world, bring your help, and we lay our lives at your feet in your service. Use us, we pray, Lord. Use us to bring hope, to bring healing, to bring comfort, to bring peace, to bring the life of Jesus into this hurting world. All these things we pray in his name. Amen. And the blessing now of Jesus Christ our Lord, God the Father and the Holy Spirit remain with you through this coming week and through all your days. Amen.